extra 500,000 Victorian employees going on to JobKeeper through the September quarter. Today we're announcing two significant changes to JobKeeper. The first is to the business turnover test and the second is to the eligible employee test. With respect to business turnover, previously a business would need to be down by the requisite amount in their turnover in both the June and the September quarters to be eligible for JobKeeper in the December quarter. We're now saying that those businesses only need to be down in the September quarter. This takes into account that some businesses through May, through June, through April did okay. But obviously with the stage 4 restrictions, particularly in Victoria, through the months of July, August and September, it's going to be very difficult. And these businesses will now be eligible for the payment. The second change is related to the employee eligibility test. Previously, an employee had to be on the business's books as of the 1st of March to be eligible. We're now saying that that employee now needs to be on the books as of the 1st of July. And the reason for this change is that some businesses, as they were opening up and progress was made on the health front, they took on new employees. Those employees will now be eligible for JobKeeper, which will again provide additional relief to businesses. The JobKeeper program will now cost $101 billion, the single largest economic support package that any Australian government has ever undertaken. And it's in response to this once-in-a-century pandemic. The Morrison government is pulling out all stops, doing whatever we can to support Australians through this crisis, to maintain that formal connection between employers and employees to help businesses and workers get to the other side.
The first question is from Fiona Willan at the Nine Network.
Hi, Treasurer. Now, businesses won't necessarily snap back to where they were when Victoria's lockdown ends. Would you consider keeping the payment at $1,500 a fortnight due on September?
Well, the payment, as you say, at $1,500 goes to the end of September. That's beyond the 6-week stage 4 restrictions that the Premier in Victoria recently announced. We always envisaged that this program will remain national, which it does, and that it would step down and transition over time. And that $1,500 payment moves to $1,200 for the December quarter, and that remains at 80% of the minimum wage. So it's still a very significant payment and a very significant economic lifeline for millions of Australian workers. We'll have 4 million Australian workers on JobKeeper through this September quarter. And in Victoria, that number will be 1.5 million. That's nearly half the private sector workforce in Victoria. We will continue to provide very significant support to those who need it.
Simon Love from the 10 Network.
Morning, Treasurer.
Good morning.
My colleague here in Melbourne, what's been the mood in your election and around? Have they been wanting this payment to stay at $1,500? And also, do you think most businesses in Melbourne under these lockdowns that weren't able to qualify now be able to qualify with these new court eligibility rules?
There certainly will be a much larger number of Victorian businesses and workers who will now benefit from this extension and expansion of the JobKeeper program.